Hello everybody, my name is Sajan Hall and today I'm going to be going over the results of my science experiment. So for this assignment I wanted to see what type of water would produce the clearest ice cubes. So I hypothesized, or my question statement was, what is the effect of changing the type of water on the clarity of ice cubes? For this experiment I used 3 different kinds of water. I used tap water, boiled water, and twice boiled water. So I predicted that the twice boiled water is what would produce the clearest ice cubes for this experiment. So the science examined in this experiment is going to be physical science. The experiment is about heat energy in water / ice and the effects of the clarity, or the water type and its effect on the clarity of ice cubes. Some of the key vocabulary I went ahead and added was physical science, heat energy, and states of matter, since the water is going from liquid to solid as it freezes. So the science concept applies because the heat energy is very important. We know that heat energy is the energy an object has because of the movement of its molecules, and the fact that we know this helps me understand that it's going to be the twice boiled water that produces the clearest ice cubes, because the boiled water is what pushes those air molecules out of the water itself. So I had some different variables in this experiment. I had manipulated variables, which was the type of water. Again, regular tap water, boiled tap water, and twice boiled tap water. My responding variable was the clarity of the ice cubes. And the constants were the ice cube tray, freezer temperature, the amount of water in each ice cube, and the cooking pot I used to boil water with. So here you can see all my materials. I've got the ice cube tray, there's water in the measuring cup. The pot, I also used a stove to boil the water, but that's not pictured. So I had a lot of different steps in my procedure for this experiment. So basically what I did was I measured out the water for each different tray. I used 3 trays, one for the tap water, one for the boiled, and one for the twice boiled. And then I would put in, I would use 10 ice cubes. So that would be equal to 10 trials for this experiment. And then I would boil the tap water, and then I would do the same thing. I'd measure out each different ice cube, did 10 of them for 10 trials. And then again, I repeated the same steps for the twice boiled tap water. I measured the water, boiled it twice, put in enough water for 10 ice cubes for 10 trials. And then after I did all that, I labeled each tray so I would know which water is which. And then I kept the ice cubes in overnight, and the next day I pulled them out, and I measured each ice cube clarity based on my rubric, which I will show towards the end of my presentation. And then I also filled in the data table. So as you can see from my data, the average for the regular tap water was 3, boiled tap water was 2.2, and the twice boiled tap water was 1.4. On my rubric, the 3 was the foggiest of ice cubes, the 2 would be the semi-foggy, and then the 1 is extremely clear ice cubes. Again, here's some more data. We've got the regular tap water's mean was 3, mode 3, the range was 0. Boiled tap water was 2 for the median, 2 for the mode, 2 for the range. And twice boiled was 1 for the median, 1 for the mode, and 1 for the range again. And I have a graph here that shows the different clarity levels. So I've got 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4. We can see that the tap water had the least level of clarity. Boiled tap water, it was about the middle. And then the twice boiled tap water was about the 1.4, like I said earlier. So from the results of this experiment, I did see from my graph that the average of the ice cube clarity for tap water is a 3. The average ice cube clarity of boiled tap water is 2.2. And the average ice cube clarity of twice boiled was the 1.4, like I mentioned before. And in conclusion, it was the twice boiled tap water that produced the clearest ice cubes. And we knew this because we found this out because the tap water and the boiled water still had air molecules trapped within the water, and boiling it twice ensured that we would have the clearest amount of ice, or the clearest ice cubes. So a real world application that we can do for this experiment would be in the restaurant industry or the bar industry. So when restaurants and bars make specialty drinks, it's very imperative that these drinks look presentable, even fancy, we could say. So who would want to drink with some foggy ice cubes? Some people may not pay attention to it, but some reviewers or restaurants critics may look at that. So if they want their drinks to look extremely presentable, they could boil their tap water twice for these specialty drinks, and they would have crystal clear ice cubes, which would but it would very much bring the restaurant up a level for these reviewers, and that in turn will give the restaurant more business if they're reviewed well. So for my narrative diary, I had 8 entries. So the second, I brainstormed some ideas. The third, I decided on this project. The fourth, I posted and reserved my project. And then on the 4th as well, I've got about 3 other different entries where I went to the store, picked up my materials, set up my materials, and completed the experiment. On the 5th, I recorded all my data, and I also finished my conclusion in the real-world application. Here is that rubric I was talking about. I have 3, which was extremely foggy, and then I have 2 semi-clear, and 1 was extremely clear. I also have some demonstration ice cubes here. I'll show them to the camera. This one is the tap water. You can see it's very foggy. And then I have the boiled tap water here. This one is still semi-foggy, but you can see more into it. And then here I have the twice boiled tap water. We can see, it's melting a little bit. See how extremely clear it is. This one is breaking a little because it's melting. Let me grab the other one. This one is extremely clear. You can see right through it. And then here I just have some photos of my demonstration, me measuring out the water, me with the ice cube tray, boiling the water. This was my setup for the 3 different trays when I first put the water in. This was tap water, boiled, and twice boiled. Here it is when I took them out of the freezer the next day. Again, we have boiled, tap water, and twice boiled right here. And that would be the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for watching.